Stanford Baseball is on the air.
This is Jesse Hewitt.
This is Bo Branson.
I'm Andrew Somerville. Listen to Stanford Baseball on KZSU. Play ball!
And that was the playing of the national anthem. And we're about to have live baseball. Stanford Baseball is on the air. The biggest test of the year for the Cardinals starts now. 9 games over the next 10 days. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Danny Hauger, back in California's Bay Area. I hope you're having a wonderful afternoon. And we are live from Reckling Park, the campus of Rice University here in Houston, Texas. Looking ahead to a 4-game weekend series starting right now. Tomorrow, both games of the doubleheader. Game 1 at 12 Central, 10 o'clock local Stanford time. And Game 2 scheduled for 4 o'clock p.m. Central, 2 o'clock Pacific. Sunday's finale we'll have also right here from Reckling Park at 1 o'clock Central, 11 o'clock Pacific. And boy, do we have a story brewing today as we get into this old rivalry between Stanford and Rice. We'll go over the starting lineups for you here. First, for the Stanford Cardinal, batting first, playing shortstop, number 10, Tommy Edman. Jesse Hewitt in the 2 spot, he will play second base. Matt Winokur in the cleanup spot after his late game heroics Tuesday night against Nevada will be batting third and playing first base. Alex Dunlop, the right fielder, in fourth. Quinn Brody in right field, fifth. Johnny Loker following him up. And then we're going to have Bo Branson and Bryce Carter rounding out for Stanford. We'll get to Rice's starting lineup in just a moment. And there's a lot to tell you about. If you missed Tuesday, Matt Winokur provided a walk-off double to deep right field. He drove in Johnny Loker in the 9th inning and handed Nevada its first loss of the 2015 season. So it was quite an event. If you were there, you were going crazy at Sunken Diamond at Klein Field for a Tuesday night Stanford victory that ended 6-5. Dating back to last season, 3 of Stanford's last 6 wins have been in walk-off fashion. So there's a lot of interesting stuff going on the Stanford side of the baseball. Rice has been very successful this year as well. They come into tonight with a record of 6-3. They're going to start Ryan Chandler in center field, Foreign Stainback second base. Leon Bird is at shortstop beside him. John Clay Reeves is going to bat cleanup, the catcher. First baseman Connor Takel, Charlie Warren in right field, Tristan Gray at third base. Kirby Taylor is going to designate hit tonight, and John Williamson will round out the lineup. So we're going to step off and start this game. We're just moments away from first pitch. So glad you joined us here on KZSU 90.1 FM. Grateful for this game to be broadcast as the first pitch is low and outside for a ball. Thank you to Pedro, our in-studio coordinator tonight. Michael Peterson, of course, for coordinating all the details with this broadcast and with this trip. Danny Hauger here with you for all the action. Second pitch to Edman. It's in there for a strike. Edman, the 5'10", San Diego native, stands 180 pounds. And the third pitch of the first at bat of the game is low for a ball. 2-1 count to Edman. It's been cold here in Houston today. Weather in the 40s. The sun has just come out in the last 10 or so minutes, and it won't be out for long. It's about to set along the horizon as we take a look around Reckling Park. Dimensions of Reckling: 330 down the left field line, 375 in left center, out deep to center 400 yards, and over to the right 375 feet, and along the right pole 330. So a near symmetrical park here in Houston. It's been cold. You've got wind blowing to right field out from left, and the crowd's still settling in here in Reckling Park. It's Star Wars night. And an irony there as we lost Leonard Nimoy from Star Trek. So an interesting day for science fiction fans. And, of course, his great body of work, of course, will live on in the minds of his fans. Here's the next delivery, full count. And Edman is going to take a walk on his first opportunity of the day. So Tommy Edman is going to take a base on balls. Starting out for Rice University is Kevin McKenna. And we know a lot about him. He's quite a prospect, and he already has been selected in the draft, actually. So a bright future for McKenna. He's a righty, 6'1". He wears the number 23, and he'll feature a hard slider. It's an MLB-ready pitch at 86 miles an hour, a true 4-pitch hurler, and he also mixes in a fastball at 92. The first pitch was a slap attempt by Jesse Kiewit, and it's along the foul ball line. But McKenna is also going to work in a fantastic changeup and a 12-6 curveball. He was taken in the 6th round of the draft, and he went to high school just up the road with his right field starting teammate, Charlie Warren. So McKenna steps off now. Kiewit takes a few practice swings. Kiewit from Huntington Beach, Surf City, California, 5'10", 190 pounds. Kiewit wears 7. Stanford wearing their road grays with their Cardinal helmets, and Kiewit's got the stirrups on, Cardinal as well. He showed bunt there on that attempt, and Tristan Gray over there at third base for Rice was aware and taking a few steps in. 1-1 is the count. Here's McKenna. Readies and delivers. The bunt is delivered in fair territory. It's going to advance the runner, Edmond, to second base, and that'll be a sacrifice bunt for Kiewit. So a good job for Jesse Kiewit using some fundamentals there to advance Edmond over from first into scoring position with 1 out here in the top of the first. And up comes the hero from Tuesday, Matt Winokur. Winokur's now batting .357. He started 7 of the 8 games for Stanford. 28 at-bats. He scored 6 times with 10 hits and 8 runs batted in. Winokur just dropped a beautiful ball out into right field on Tuesday that was able to knock in his teammate Loker for the win, delivering the Nevada Wolfpack their first loss of the season. Winokur from Contra Costa County from Alamo. He takes a strike on the outside corner. Umpires for tonight's game. Behind the plate, Jim Garman. He'll be our chief crew. First base, Doug Williams. Second base, Ryan Moorhead. And along third base, Jet Minton. Wind gusting about 15 miles an hour out to right field. Second ball to Winokur is slapped to left, and that one is going to fall foul by about 5 feet. So he'll come back and try it again. And shout out, of course, to Matt Aguirre for getting us ready for this broadcast with a few advanced notes from his experience at Rice University, which was very much appreciated. Bringing you this game tonight is a pleasure. Glad to be with you. You can follow it on social media at Stanford BSB. You can also follow me at Danny Hauger. It's Hauger as Winokur faces an 0-2 count against McKenna. McKenna readies. And that one is fouled back. So we'll do it again with an 0-2 count. Winokur definitely felt good after the walk-off hit on Tuesday night. Teammates pretty much ripped the shirt off his back, so you got to love that camaraderie that you have with your teammates. And here's the 0-2 and a spin around to check second base. So he'll have to reset. McKenna close to a balk there. Winokur's a freshman, and he's off to a few memorable moments so far this season. Stanford definitely fought hard Tuesday to get back in the game after being down 0-2 and then being down 5-2 in the game. The 1-2 pitch is going to say it was just outside. Fans didn't like it. A groan generating from the crowd here at Reckling Park. So McKenna's going to have to do it again now. From the stretch, right over the plate, Winokur slaps it to center, and it's going to fall just behind the second baseman. It's hit, so that'll get Edmond up to third base, and Matt Winokur is standing at first base with a single. Just a nice slap contact there to get the ball out of reach of second, and there was no chance that Ryan Chandler in center field, though he does have excellent speed, was going to be able to come in and grab that ball. So Stanford here starts the game off with a walk and a hit, and with just 1 out, we've got runners on first and in the top of the first inning. And here comes Rice, his pitching coach, out to have a word with McKenna. That ball was thrown right over the plate, and Winokur had no problem slapping it out to center field. So Patrick Hallmark out to have a word with McKenna. Kevin McKenna is one of the highly rated prospects on this Rice team, returning from last year. He's a highly sought-after guy because of his excellent 4-pitch rotation, all of which are very well developed. Happens to be a good game manager as well. Manager takes his stride back to the bullpen. Stanford hoping to repay Rice from losing to them in the first game of the series last year. That took place at Klein Field at Sunken Diamond. In that game, it was the long ball that was in the thorn of the side of Stanford. Lots of home runs in that game. And it was Cal Quantrill, who will start tonight for the Cardinal, who had given up a lot of the big hits in that ball game. So you can bet that Cal will want to correct himself here with this Rice Owl team. You know, Rice, the last time they were in the College World Series, it was 1988. And that was the year that Stanford defeated them. So a lot of history between these two teams. Also, 2003 champions were the Rice Owls. So a good thing to point out here about these two teams is you don't often get such a combination of academic and athletic excellence, especially when we talk about baseball programs. Both of these two have such great reputations. As Alex Dunlap slaps a ball foul, it gets caught along the netting here just beside us behind home plate. It's 0-2 now to Dunlap. Dunlap, a Texan himself from the Woodlands in Texas, 6'2", 195 pounds. He wears number 22, and he bats from the right-handed side. Here comes the next pitch over the plate. Hit to left and through into the left field. He's going to get a double on that one, and around third coming to score is Edmond, and Winokur is going to move up to third base. Stanford dugout loves it. They're out applauding the first RBI of the game, and like that, Alec Dunlap delivers an RBI hit, and Stanford is out to a 1-0 lead.
The right fielder, Quinn Brody.
So a great start for Stanford, which had a lot of talk coming into this game about the importance of facing a competitive program like Rice and wanting to make a strong showing from the start of the game. More than 3/4 of Stanford's runs have come in the last 3 innings of games. So a good sign here for Stanford to get out to the early lead. They have not lost when they've been out to an early lead. They are 3-0. And that ball is dropped. Quinn Brody, he pops a short fly to the shortstop behind third base, and that was Leon Bird, who was unable to bring the ball in, and he was unable to look it into the glove. But Winokur, not knowing what would happen there, stayed at third base. So Stanford now is going to have the bases loaded. They're probably going to rule that ball in error, as Johnny Loker steps up to the plate, the center fielder, for his first opportunity of the night. Stanford's got 2 hits, 1 run, bases loaded with 1 out here in the top of the first. Loker from Washington, the 5'11" righty, takes strike 1 from McKenna. So McKenna's worked himself into a little bit of trouble here at the start of the game. So that put Quinn Brody on first base. It was a routine pop and one that was not able to be corralled by Leon Bird. Fans still finding their way in here to Houston. Right up the street, of course, from Rice Medical Center, the highly touted Rice University Medical Center, along with the Methodist Hospital right next door. Beautiful skyline view here in this part of Houston. So Rice has high hopes for this season, but they certainly will want to get a good showing in these 4 games against Stanford. So here's Loker, 1-2 count. McKenna delivers. Loker slaps the ball to short. Bird fields it. Runner's going to score, and they will throw and get Loker at first for the second out of the game. So chalk that up to a sacrifice RBI for Loker, and Stanford now up 2-0 in the top of the first inning. A great start for the Cardinal, putting runs together and using efficient uses of hits, walks, bunt, and a little sacrifice there to short. Leon Bird did a good job there to charge in on the ball and make the throw to first on the run, just in time to get Loker, but the run will score. And Mikey Dinroger is going to be in to pinch hit for the pitching slot. It's something that Stanford does a lot. Mark Marquis will put that pitcher slot in and wait till the very last moment to put in the sub. And Diekringer goes to left center, and he's going to have himself an RBI double. He's on his way to second. The throw is going to be just late. So on that